Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're going to start a brand new series on how to create your own YouTube gaming videos. Starting a channel can be a pretty daunting prospect, but honestly it's not that hard as long as you have the motivation and the spare time. In this video, we're going to start with hardware, which is probably the most essential part in the YouTube process because it's what allows you to capture and edit your footage. You might want to tweak this list to suit your own skill level and budget, but this guide should be enough to give you an idea of what you need to get the ball rolling. Now, the first thing that you're obviously going to need is some kind of computer to edit your videos, which will need to be powerful enough to handle editing software. I actually use a Mac Mini with a quad i7 and 8GB of memory to make my videos, and although it's a couple of years old now, it still runs all of my software pretty fine. You're also going to need some more storage space if you intend on working with videos, so it's very important to get yourself another hard drive to store all of your project files on. I wouldn't worry too much about getting an SSD for YouTube though, just get yourself the largest capacity HDD you can afford and make sure it's mounted in a Firewire 800 or faster enclosure. So once you've got your computer set up, you're going to have to start thinking about what sort of videos you're going to make. Are you going to be using mainly gameplay, or are you going to record yourself in a vlog format, because that'll determine whether you need a capture card or a camera or both. I actually use an Elgato game capture to capture my footage, which works great and still seems to be one of the more popular capture cards out there. If you want to go down the camera path though, I'd highly recommend a Logitech C920 or C930 HD webcam because they're reasonably cheap and they record in 1080p straight to your hard drive. Now, some people might want to skip this next point, but if you're someone who wants to record commentary over your videos, then you're going to need a mic and audio interface. I currently use a fairly expensive setup with a Sennheiser MK4 and an M-Audio Pro-Fi 2626, but that's because I work as a sound engineer and I work with this sort of stuff every day. If you're not planning on using the microphone for anything except YouTube, you can try an all-in-one approach like the Blue Snowball, which has a USB audio interface built in. Snowballs are pretty cheap, but if you want to try something that sounds a bit better, you can always pick up a Blue Yeti instead, which is another common mic used by YouTubers. So now that we've got through the bulk of the essential stuff, in addition to this you might want to think about picking up some optional extras like studio headphones and a mixer. You may already have a decent gaming headset, in which case you might be able to skip the headphones, but if not, you'll definitely want to pick up a decent pair like these Sennheiser HD280s. As for the mixer, well, it's a good way of mixing all of your sound sources together, which might include your consoles, your gaming PC and your editing computer. It'll also serve as an amplifier for your headphones, which is handy considering a lot of TVs and monitors don't have dedicated headphone outputs. Now, last but not least, if you're recording console gameplay, you're probably going to want to pick up a HDMI splitter so that you don't have to output to your TV through your capture card. My Elgato, for example, requires power to run, meaning if I don't use a splitter, I pretty much have to have my editing computer turned on to play any of my consoles. Speaking of HDMI splitters, it's probably not a bad idea to also have a switch going in the other direction if you're planning on recording more than one console. The HDMI switch I use is just a cheap 3-way switch I bought on eBay, which automatically switches when an input is detected, and also comes with a remote for manual switching. But anyway, that should be enough to get you started, but like I said before, you might be able to adjust this list depending on what kind of videos you want to make and what platform you're gaming on. For example, PC gamers might be able to ditch a lot of this gear, but retro gamers might need a little extra to convert the analog signals. Don't feel like you have to go with the exact gear I've suggested in this video though. There's definitely cheaper and more expensive options depending on your budget. If you've got any questions about what you'll need for your own particular setup though, feel free to leave it in the comment section below and I'll see if I can help you out. But anyway guys, that just about wraps up this list. So as always, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description below if you want to see more of my videos, or if you'd like to support my channel on Patreon. And until next time, see you later and have a good one.